Well, hello YouTube. Here we are. Got ourselves a start to another day. Been a few days since I vlogged, but hey, that's the way she rolls sometimes. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, I think last time I vlogged was at the tail end of our first time out camping trip. Well, came on home, of course, after that, unpacked the trailer, got things squared on away. Did a few things in the office and that, edited up some more videos, did some uploads. And I got invited out to a family reunion of sorts. It wasn't a big get-together kind of a deal. It was just maybe a dozen people or so, but hey, it was another 2-3 nights there. Got to use the trailer. Came on back and well, here we are now. It's kind of one of them things, right? It was spur of the moment. It wasn't really hugely planned. I knew it was going on this time of year-ish, but I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to attend or not. And it kind of came about, had the opportunity, so I decided to, well, why not, right? Well, dug out Dad's old laptop. I guess I shouldn't say old. It's only about 2 years old in total, but it hasn't been powered on since late September of 2016. When everything went the way it did with Dad, the laptop was shut off, sitting next to his chair kind of a deal. And when we packed up his apartment, the laptop went back in the laptop box and then came over and sat on the shelf in my office. Well, powered it on, did a bunch of updates, installed my editing software. I might as well either sell it or get some use out of it, and the way things are, selling it wouldn't be really a viable option. So the old gateway running Windows 7 is slowed down a lot, and I was thinking of trying to reformat it, seeing if that sped it up at all, seeing if that would speed it up at all. Either that or I'll put it on the shelf with the other 4 laptops that are no good. You know, everything tends to have a lifespan, and after 4 or 5 years, well, it's doing fairly well, right? Well, today is a big start to the colonial days, which means, well, there's the parade coming up here in about a half an hour. I need to decide if I'm going to walk down or if I'm going to drive. I drove down last year and it worked great, because after standing for an hour and a half in the plus 30 Celsius heat, it was nice to get into the air conditioning to come on home. However, that being said, I had to find parking. If I walk down, then you don't have to find parking. However, you have to battle the heat going there, standing there, and coming home. So we'll have to see how she goes. Whatever it is, I have about 15 minutes to decide, and pack up my camera gear and such and head her on down there. I might as well go see it. It's free. Video it and put her up on the YouTubes. They are charging this year for what they call sneak a peek at the fair. You gotta pay $2 to get in. Traditionally, a sneak a peek night was free. The joke was, it's because if the rides are going to fall apart, they will fall apart on the first night, and that's why they're free. But I guess they're charging $2 a head to get in, plus another, I think it's $2 a ride to ride. So I guess they got to make their money somehow, right? So guys, gonna get going and rolling. I'm not 100% sure how much I'll be able to vlog, because when I get back I'll be hot and grumpy. So we'll see y'all later on this afternoon. Here we are with a little bit of update. Well, of course, I just got back from the 2017 Colonial Days parade. It was a good one this year. Maybe slightly longer, or at least more spread out per se. Well, it was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. However, we stood there for about 45 minutes before the beginning of the parade reached us. Normally it's about 15 minutes or so before it reaches us, but hey, somebody must have been micromanaging somewhere and delayed the whole thing. Well, going on through the parade, I only noticed about 2 or 3 of the car dealerships, unless the other, 3 or 4 were hidden somewhere. I know where there was like sponsored vehicles for other, places that didn't have a vehicle of their own. They sometimes borrow them from a car dealership, so maybe they counted that as an entry. There was no taxi companies this year. There was only one towing company in the parade. I believe there's 3 or 4 in this town, so I'm not quite sure where they went. There was only one big box lumber yard in there, the big orange one, so I'm not quite sure again where the other entries went. So filmed about an hour and 20 minutes of footage. Probably once edited down, it'll probably be close to maybe 60 minutes or so of actual usable footage. So should be able to get 3 or 4 parts again this year out of what I shot. So hey, I guess you could say that's a bonus. Now, if I was a die-hard ride fanatic, I'd be down at the exhibition ground right now in the Great Big Panic lineup, waiting to go on the rides. But hey, no, I'm not one for rides, and I'm gonna stay at home here, do a few things. With the rain we've had, which has been a lot, there's some yard work needing to be done around the yard here, so we will try to work on that. It is clouding up, trying to rain, so we might end up with some rain, or maybe it'll go around us. So you guessed her, we'll go inside, see what's the what. Catch y'all then. Here we are, a little bit of an evening update. Well, came home after the parade there, did a short little update, ended up crashing for a few hours, recovering from the heat and all that. Ended up going out, picking up a couple of things, and well, here we are now. Just looking around my yard, seeing things that I should get done. One of the biggest things is to mow the lawn, but I need to pick up some garbage first, pick up some water jugs that are no good, and a few things like that. It's kind of weird how you put things off, and then you end up with a wet year kind of like this, and then you wish you would have went out and done said thing the year earlier. What I'm talking about is my string trimmer. I believe I touched on it earlier. The one year I used it, and it kind of seized up on me, and it's never been the same since. And yes, I was using proper mixed fuel, pre-mixed fuel. However, that string trimmer, if my memory serves me right, is probably the better part of 8 years old at least. So, and it's not an expensive trimmer to begin with, so I'm surprised that it did last as long as it did. Most of them only last a year or two, and the carb goes. This one here ended up getting hot, I'm assuming, or maybe something happened inside internally in the motor. I tried to start it, I think it was last year, and it was pushing out a little bit of oil kind of residue, so I kind of just shelved it and half forgotten about it. So maybe tomorrow, if I can pry some money out of my piggy bank, maybe we'll make a run down and pick one up. I need to decide if I want to buy a $250 orange brand one, or if I want to go out and buy a steel brand. I know steel will I know a steel brand will match my chainsaw and my leaf blower and a couple other pieces of equipment. However, that is quite pricey. And if you don't really need to put out that kind of money for that quality of tool, then why bother, right? A string trimmer doesn't really get used a lot, but when it does, it needs to run, needs to work. As well as I probably should rig something up to spray weeds. This chemical to spray weeds is quite expensive, and if I can figure out a way to maybe possibility of buying it in bulk, saving money there, then maybe it'll work a little better. I still say I need to get a hold of somebody with an acreage and get a gallon or two of the what they call soil sterilant. You're not supposed to use it in city limits. However, this is on a back gravel driveway and a front gravel driveway. There will never be a garden there, and it'll be gravel for as long as I own this here house. And by the time I'm done with this here house, it'll be over 100 years old, and they'll knock the house down and you know, put up a Walmart or something. So of course we have to do some figuring out there tomorrow. You do a mow on the lawn, and then the edges look fuzzy because of the lack of trimmer. So you kind of need both to do a proper job. So I'll have to do some figuring out, see what I want to do, and well, it'll be what it is, right? You gotta have the proper tools to do the job, and if you're gonna own your own home, right, there's no point in, well, letting it fall apart around you. You know, spending money on eavesdropping and spending money on a new furnace, spending money on other home repairs that need to be done. It's just the way it is, right? But pretty much, guys, gonna go back inside, probably get some supper rolling, and we'll probably see y'all when it's dark. We come to the end of another day. Well, it was a good day, a little bit of a steady day. Didn't get any rain, so I guess we could call that a bonus. Shot the 2017 Colonial Days Parade. Haven't had a chance to edit the footage yet. I may run that through tonight. I gotta run it through like I always do, and essentially make it one big large piece, whatever it would be, 60 minutes or an hour and 10 minutes, whatever long, and then go through and edit out the dead spots and things that didn't quite make the cut per se, and then rather than leaving you guys with like an hour-long video, I'll split it up into 3 or 4 parts, depends on how suitable it is, and then well, put her up to the YouTube in a bit. Given my schedule, the way things are sorting on out, it'll probably be next month or so by the time that stuff goes on. Because I didn't shoot the Canada Day fireworks, 2 of my videos went live quicker than what they were planned to go, so there's a bit of a space there. And because the Princess Auto flyers have basically stopped, the Princess Auto videos will be no more until I can start getting more flyers. That's another story. Then they will fill that spots as well. So I'm trying to decide if I want to put the trailer project videos out now this year, or if I want to get more videos in the series before I start putting them out. If there is 6 months between the video series, then you know, you might forget the progress that was made between seasons or videos. So I might store them, and then next year put up, you know, the whole series per se, or, you know, even the year after that. By then they'd be 3 years old, and I'll either have the trailer still, or I've sold it and got something different. You never know, right? Time happens, things change, right? Well, currently doing some editing, getting some more videos ready to go live. I need a Maxwell's Life Entertainment video, as well as 3 or 4 Maxwell's World videos to cushion the first week in next month, as well as, well, as soon as I can, the vlog videos will be edited and put on up, mainly because, well, they're no good on the computer. Might as well share them with the world, and around we go. Well, tomorrow got me a decision to make, whether I want to buy a department store or buy good and have it for a while. Do I want to spend the money or go cheap? 2 or 3 years out of a cheap one is almost as good as, well, 6 or 8 years out of one that's 3 times the price. All depends on the way I want to go, and it'll be what it is. Remember, we do have the fan mail box. The address is down below. Send me your letters, send me your decals, and well, if you write me, send a self-addressed stamped envelope or a legible return address with postal or zip code, I will write you back. But pretty much, guys, gonna end her all here, and around we go. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.